K-pop demon hunters Haja Boy's breakfast meal and Huntrix meal have just dropped at McDonald's. They're calling this a battle for the fans. What do you say to that, Rumi?
It's not a battle. So glad the Saja boys could take breakfast and give our meal the rest of the day.
It is an honor to share.
No, it's our honor.
It is our larger honor.
No, really. Stop.
You can really feel the respect in this battle. Pick a meal to pick a side.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Mega is an improvised satire from the staff of a fictional megachurch.
We are here, Lord, we are here, and we're ready to podcast.
Hiya, I'm Halle Laban, and this is Mega. We're coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every week we give our mega church, a tiny family feel. I'm always joined by my co-host. He's a youth pastor for our high school ministry called Climax. Please welcome Gray Haas.
Kick the non-believers in the keister because it is Easter, Halle. How are you?
He is risen.
Indeed.
He is risen indeed. I can't stop putting my palms together in the prayer position and then raising them up over my head and then blousing out my arms like flower petals and saying, he is risen indeed. I was working down in the toddler ministry today.
Oh, really?
Because we needed a few extra hands. Some
I heard. Yeah,
volunteers
there was
ended
like a
up with
sickness going
foot and
through.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is foot and mouth?
Oh, it's when you are really not supposed to put your feet anywhere near your mouth. And when people are the type that just can't help to take a little nibble at a toenail or two, they end up with a virus called foot and mouth. And yay. Senny Hoodles, I was volunteering down in the toddler ministry, and the program that they had prepared for those little kiddos was so cute. And by the end, they learned about, why Jesus had to die, because blood sacrifice was required for forgiveness of a God who loves them like nobody's ever going to love them. And, these are simple enough things that even toddlers get it.
Well, toddlers understand when you say owie, right? Or no.
Yeah. And so, Jesus had to hang on that cross, and we told him that was a good thing because now all sins are going to be forgiven. It's a little hard to explain sin to toddlers, mostly just because they keep trying to point at things and tell you what they are, like bowl. And it's like, yeah, that is a bowl, doy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the redemptive power of Jesus Christ. And by the end of it, they would make that little prayer shape with their hands, and then they would shoot their hands up through the air and they go, he is risen. It was awesome. And I know I was missing out on the programming going on in the main auditorium this weekend. We had 54 different programs, all ticketed at events, free, of course, because these are like outreach to the community where we're trying to reach seekers these big church holiday weekends. And we spared no expense. And again, we had laser lights, we had full choir. We had multiple choirs. We had a rock show that would rival, I'm not kidding you, a Taylor Swift show.
We had a t-shirt cannon that was more like a howitzer that could shoot upwards of 200 t-shirts in a matter of seconds. That was a bit dangerous, and people did get, I would say, surprised by that. And it was just a huge, awesome celebration all around church. Steve was in perfect form as per usual.
Awesome.
And, Halle, I was also really busy with my teens who come to Climax. And I'm also not sure if I've mentioned it before, but my friend Clay Mason Bannerman and I, we had a bit of an issue over at Clay's house because, well, Popsicles, his son, is really into Easter. And I just don't really do the whole hiding of the eggs thing. I just don't find it, unless there's scriptures inside, I don't really partake in that. I don't think children need to be reinforced with chocolate or money or things like that. But the last few years, Clay has kind of bent the rules, and he always wants to do the Easter egg hunt. This year, Popsicles said, I don't want Easter egg hunt. And so I thought, oh, great. We're totally free from having to do this ridiculous tradition. Easter morning, I look out in the yard and it looked like, do you remember that old movie where the worms came out of the ground, the sandworms?
Dune.
Yeah, Dune with Kevin Bacon. And you know where they came
Tremors?
No, I think it was Dune. And so, I do think it was interesting because I looked out in the yard and there were just holes everywhere.
Oh.
And I looked out and Popsicles was popping out of the holes dressed as a bunny rabbit.
Oh.
He had gone and gotten Clay's industrial strength post hole digger and just dug enormous holes everywhere and, was playing bunny in the yard.
Wow.
And I'm going, hey, it looks like we've got a Dune situation out here, and
or Tremors.
And so I was looking out there, and of course I'm upset because we don't have grass in the yard.
Right.
We have, AstroTurf.
Yeah.
And I said, Clay, you're going to have to deal with this because Popsicles has gone totally, feral. And now he's just out there doing the Dune thing, popping out of holes. And that was a shock.
Yeah, I mean, he must have put a lot of work into this. This is very ingenuitive.
Well, why are we giving access to, I'm not sure how old Popsicles is at this point, anywhere between the ages of 2 and 9, as far as I remember. Oh. Why does he have access to the garage? Why does he have access to the post hole digger?
Yeah. And how does he know how to operate a machine that really you have to be union certified and trained in?
Well, you should call your daughter for that one. But
Yeah,
I
that's
do
true.
think that, I guess it's good that he was out doing something. And of course, I was dealing with another issue, which was my neighbor, Donovan Gio.
Oh, no.
Halle, he's back.
From being missing, a missing persons?
From the dead. And it's unbelievable that it happened on Easter weekend.
What?
That, he's been gone. We thought he was crucified, dead, and buried in some probably car park in Southern Illinois.
Or taken hostage for a ransom.
But it turns out he came back and he looks very different.
Where was he? What happened? What looks different about him?
He was in a little place called Mesopotamia.
Oh, like the biblical
Turkey.
area.
What they call it now, Turkey.
Oh, like Istanbul?
Sure, I don't know where he went, but he came in the backyard and he goes, "I'm about to drive you nuts." And he turned around, Halle.
What?
He got, what are they called?
Oh, no.
A BBI, or in this case, a TBI.
TBI?
A TBI. It's TMI to say it, but he got it. But he
TMI,
got a TBI.
TBI?
Totally.
TBI is TMI?
Yes.
Well, what's TBI?
You don't know?
I'll wave the TMI.
Down there.
Down there?
He traveled to get more put in down there.
He traveled to Mesopotamia.
To Turkey.
So he flew to Istanbul.
He's been gone for 3 weeks. He had a medical procedure. It's TMI to talk about it because it's a TBI.
Did
Most
he have
people
his
get a
member
BBI.
enlarged?
What?
His member enlarged. His male member.
I don't think you can do that.
Why not?
Have you ever heard of someone doing that?
I think you can enlarge anything.
Well,
women do it with their, mammary glands.
He did it on the backside.
Oh, it grieves the heart of God.
He got a Turkish butt implant, Halle.
What?
A Turkish butt implant.
He has a big butt now.
And now let me put it this way.
Oh my God.
The Y in front is a capital Y because it's getting stretched. So
I
don't think he even got new underpants.
I am sweating under my bodysuit. What is happening right now, Gray?
I don't know. And I didn't ask a follow-up question. I said, Clay, you're going to have to deal with this.
Why would he do that? Why would
TBI,
why
TMI.
would he do that? TBI, TMI.
I know. TNT.
So how does it look? What does it look like? Does he look like a freak?
It looks, it just comes out. It's kind of a lot on the sides. A lot on the sides.
Right on the side.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it has just been and he loves it. He's bopping around, bouncing around.
If he wanted a big behind, I could have taught him how to do it in a natural way, easy peasy,
How's
in
that?
under 3 months. Keep a roll of powdered donuts in your bag. Eat fettuccine Alfredo with extra sauce, and tell them not to stop when they're shaving the parm on the top. Say, keep going. You're going to get tired. Keep going. You're going to get tired. And butter both sides of your toast.
Well, he
and
always
then in
says he
3
doesn't-
months or less, you're going to have a nice round one.
Well, I said this, you could just go to the gym and work out but he's, or, like you said, eat differently. And he goes, well, I don't want to eat differently because I got to keep the gutters intact.
What?
And I was like, I don't know what that means. He's like, I got to have the clean gutters.
Gutters?
I don't know any of this stuff, Hallie. I
His
just ignore
whole body is in a gutter, if you ask me. He is not treating his temple with any respect.
Well, he's doing all this looks rinsing. He basically is just pumping saline into anything that'll take it. Or whatever they put
on earth. I am really going to put you on the top of my prayer list because you are living next door. Well, you're temporarily just crashing for the time being next door to a real challenging person that I believe
if he did it on Easter.
You might be being tested, Gray. Jesus might really be leveling you
Oh, I know.
up.
And that's why I prayed that he would not return. And I didn't want him dead, but I definitely didn't want him coming back with, this TMI, TBI.
Well, I'm glad he's back because honestly, you've said enough on here about how glad you'd be to be rid of him that I'm afraid if he didn't return, you might get somebody with a badge knocking on your door wondering if you did it. But all in all, he was just out on Turkish Airlines filling up his behind with air sacs or saline or some kind of, I don't know, pig fat or snouts, whatever they do. They could throw a bag of Funyuns back there. I don't know. That's what you would have to do to get the texture of what a real woman's behind is like when it's big.
I don't even want to know
it's
about it.
It's like, well, just imagine rubbing a stuffed bag of Funyuns, and that's how it should feel.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs. So you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
With Sam's Club, you have the freedom to shop your own way. Curbside pickup, delivered to your doorstep, come in and grab it yourself. Yes, yes, yes. They've got plenty of options. Your call. Say yes to shopping the way you want. Join now at samsclub.com/yes and. You must be 18 years or older to purchase a membership, and membership is subject to qualifications. Visit samsclub.com/yes and for details.
Hoodles, I did want to say that when you brought up this elaborate Easter Bunny den warren tunnels now in Clay's backyard that Popsicles has been doing back there to set up some kind of cute Easter display. I mean, it does really make my little heart, my Easter heart dance to see that he's getting in the spirit. But I mean, it's almost like he made himself into a life-size whack-a-mole, he could come up and you could start going to town on his head with a couple of pool noodles.
I know. I mean, it's full Watership Down back there, and I haven't even read that, but I do know that it's about rabbits.
Maybe that's what you should do is grab some of those pool noodles from Donovan Gio's above ground pool, bring them over, stand in your backyard over some of the holes in the AstroTurf. And when Popsicles pops his head up, whack him with a pool noodle. He might really like it. That might be what he's asking for. This might be why he did it.
I just don't. I have to disengage from that, Hallie, because I've already got several hundred teens that I parent.
Well,
I don't need, as a youth pastor, I've absolutely got to keep my priorities straight.
Yep.
Not
Praising.
with my neighbor with the fake.
Yeah. Those Climax kids.
UTT.
Those Climax kids are so lucky to have you.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was kind of feeling a little convicted. I'm going to be honest when you were talking about not enjoying Easter egg hunts because, maybe it doesn't feel very biblical. Maybe if there are scripture verses inside the hidden eggs, then maybe that, but if I'm honest, for the last, most of our lives, me and my husband, Lance Labont, for the most of the life of our family, Day and all my daughters, we've always done an Easter egg hunt on Easter. And Lance has always been in charge of it. And I've always really liked that because he gets out of his recliner and he puts away, his 3 screens that have ESPN, ESPN1, and ESPN2 on them. And he goes out into the backyard and he starts hiding those plastic colored eggs, the kind that pop open. They're in 2 parts, and he puts 50 cents in some, a 50-cent piece, a $1 coin, a $5 bill, a wad of ones. And I have to tell you, there's a few 20s out there. And there's a 50 out there. There's a $50 bill. Every year the kids get so into it. And I say, you know what? I have not had a problem with it as a Christ follower, as a Bible-based believer. I think, sometimes you got to get the kids excited about the holiday that you want them to care about. And so you got to kind of, lean in. And so the kids do love it and they go crazy. We have to hold them behind a rope.
When you put money in front of a kid, they are going to go crazy. Kids love money.
You should see them scattering across the yard trying to find the eggs that Lance doesn't hide very well because he can hardly bend over or, get on tiptoes. So they're all pretty accessible and pretty noticeable. So the kids just start going at it like locusts being released from a cave. Well, it is wow.
I did want to ask you, Halle, how did it go this year, though? Because I know that you've had some family stuff come up with this whole Lance and his dad. What is up with that? Because obviously he needs money.
Well, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but my husband, Lance Labont, he has discovered recently through a series of very unfortunate events, he discovered that his father had a second family. And this happens
it was all on Ancestry.com, isn't that right?
Yeah, he did 22andMe, and he had some big surprises pop up in the results.
It was the family tree was twice. There were 2 trees. Basically.
And this happens in 1 in 3 American families, mostly in the Bible Belt states. But it's very common, and it has struck again. My husband, Lance Labont, has some half siblings he's discovered from his father's other family.
It's so painful. And I guess this was when, you were telling me when we had our leadership meeting the other day that his father was in the Merchant Marine or something, and he had just, spread his seeds all over I guess in this case, the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. And
or Gulf of America, as we should be calling it.
Yeah. He was an ordained minister. He was a chaplain.
Really?
He was a chaplain in the military. He served and was a chaplain.
In the Merchant Marine military.
Yeah.
In the military that protects the Merchant Marine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the Merchant Marines have chaplains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but what's the military part? Because he does. You said he always wears a uniform.
Well, yeah, he thinks because Lance says it's called the Merchant Marines, and that's military.
Okay.
So it's just a different kind.
Oh, okay.
But it's because he wants to say he's in the military.
He wears a captain's,
all
kind
the
of
time.
A white captain's type of uniform.
Yeah.
I saw him in the parking lot.
Yeah, and I only have 5 of those, which means I have to be doing laundry all the time.
Yeah, I guess I never think of the Merchant Marines as Marines, but they're what, guarding the merchants?
Well, they wouldn't be called Marines if they weren't militant.
Yeah.
So any hoodles, he was chaplain. He had a woman on the base he was working on, the Merchant Marine base, who came and visited him, needed his services. She was looking for marital counseling. She was seeking She was seeking Christian counseling, which is legit, from a godly man who, as it turns out, I think he really helped her. I think he also definitely stumbled in the flesh and did impregnate her over the course of some of those counseling sessions.
So how many siblings are there that Lance found on 22andMe?
Oh, to be honest, I haven't asked Lance if I'm able to disclose that publicly. So I'm going to get his permission. All I know so far is there's definitely one new brother because he has come to stay with us, Uncle Chevy.
Oh.
Uncle Chevy.
How do you say it? Chevy or Chevy?
It's Chevy, but it's spelled with a CH, so I get very confused.
Oh, like the truck.
Uncle Chevy.
And so is Uncle Chevy staying with you right now?
He is staying with us.
So that's it. So, and just to catch everyone up, I did come in and I found you crying in your Lexus in your parking space because you said Chevy stole the money. And I was like, is this someone in a car? I didn't understand. But apparently this year, the Easter egg hunt was, I guess, the kids didn't get quite as rich because there was some money missing apparently from the egg.
I think Uncle Chevy stole all the Easter egg, the good money. He left some of the coin eggs.
Oh, yeah. Who wants it? And those are chocolate.
It was devastating. This year has been a very challenging one. And it was sad because I didn't get to be in the main auditorium for the programming either because I was volunteering down at Toddlers because of, the foot and mouth outbreak. But, again, we had the very slow sensory deprivation that happened when people were finally seated in the auditorium at the beginning of our Easter service. We so slowly brought down the automatic shades on the side like walls of glass, the glass windows. But we did it so slowly that nobody realized. And then the lights dimmed so slowly that by the time anyone realized it, the auditorium was pitch black.
And I noticed a lot of people falling asleep during that time, but I was like, well, they're going to get woken up,
It was awesome where then everyone was experiencing what it was like to be in a closed grave.
Yeah. And a lot of people, unfortunately, said it was very relaxing.
Some people really liked it. There were other people who were driven to extreme anxiety attacks and were triggered enormously. They had to be taken out, some on stretchers. But we've got all that stuff right there at the ready.
I don't believe in anxiety attacks. I don't even think they're a thing.
Well, it's what people use now for a smoke break.
Doesn't
you know what I mean? Nobody smokes anymore, so you can't take a smoke break. So now, people just say I'm having an anxiety attack.
There's something about anxiety that seems woke to me. I don't know what it is, but like I'm having an anxiety attack. Doesn't that just sound woke?
Might be. I really think woke stuff is bad, and I really don't know what woke means. But I will say the moment that this piercing, crashing, like crack came through the pitch black auditorium. Now everyone's sitting completely in the dark. And then the windows shoot open. And so it's blinding when you go from complete sensory deprivation to complete darkness to then the blinding of the light coming in through the windows and the stage lights.
I mean, it is kind of that, especially the ones who are asleep. It's just like being, you're in REM and then all of a sudden you've got 10,000 lumens of stage lights just beating down on you.
But that's what happened with Jesus as he was resurrecting. And we wanted to give everyone that experience so they would know how true it is because they felt it in their body now. So they know it's real. And we did have, a number of seizures. People had seizures. Again, we have ambulances at the ready. Yeah. We had them right there. Units of EMTs were able to come in, get people out without disturbing any of the worship. And by that point, people were ready to worship.
They were to rock, I'll tell you that.
It was awesome. And I just feel like even though life is challenging, even though Donovan Gio is challenging you, and really, really, I think it is Jesus is testing you to level you up, kind of like Job, but where you lose everything you love in a cosmic wager with the devil. And I think that I am being challenged, by having Uncle Chevy. In fact, it's hard for me to even talk about because I do get upset and I have to go to my crying closet. And I want to be able to finish because there are so many things that we have around the corner. The fact that now Easter is under our belt means it's conference season, and I am enrolled in all of the women's leadership conferences coming up that will be all led by male keynote speakers, unbelievable leaders of the faith, and famous famo Christos is what I call them. We got some big old famo Christos.
Well, I did see the pamphlet you have here, and I think some of these could really, really help you this year, Halle, because especially with Uncle, do you know how long Uncle Chevy is staying around?
Well, he was supposed to come for 2 days. It turned into 2 weeks. Now,
why is he with you? He just ran out of money?
He showed up. He ran out of money. Yeah.
Well, where was he before?
It's interesting. I think he was in Colorado Springs.
Oh.
And since
I love that place.
Since the tragic death of James Dobson, Uncle Chevy has been on the road and on the loose.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he was working for Focus on the Family.
Oh, I thought he had some health issues or something.
He does have health issues. That's why he has to have the job he has for Focus on the Family, which was watching all of the rated R movies and giving them a Christian review to tell Christian parents why they shouldn't let their kids watch these movies.
Wow.
What was the health issue I told you he had?
Honeycomb lung.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I've put it out of my mind. You don't even want to know about honeycomb lung. Uncle Chevy has honeycomb lung. And if you can picture a honeycomb, yes, in a hive of bees, then you're picturing it perfectly. That's what happened to his lungs. And you know why? Because he smoked for years and then he got hooked on vapes. And vapes are really, really bad for you.
Yeah.
I know. It gave him honeycomb. And he, honeycomb lung, honeycomb. I can't ever say it right.
Yeah, well, that's what you told me earlier, and I did a double take.
I mean, last night he was in the back of his Chevy in our driveway, lying in the back of his Chevy.
Oh, he drives a Chevy.
He drives a Chevy truck.
So that's why it's
called Uncle Chevy.
Oh, his legal name is not Chevy?
It is Chevy, and he drives a Chevy.
Oh, okay.
Birth certificate and vehicle.
Oh, okay.
And so he's lying, excuse me, I'm sorry to say this out loud, and I'm pretty sure intoxicated, lying in the back of the Chevy bed with crates and crates of oranges that he drove up because he came a circuitous route from Colorado Springs. He went through Florida to pick up a bunch of oranges because it's orange season.
Securitas as in the security organization?
Yeah. That's who provides his, you know how you can get like XM radio?
Uh-huh.
He gets Securitas. So anyway, he comes through Florida, loads up on a bunch of crates of oranges to bring to us. I thought as gifts, maybe a gift for a host gift because he's crashing at our place. He's never brought him in from the truck. He was out there lying in the truck bed, intoxicated the other night, and he had dug into the crates of oranges and he started throwing them at people when they would pass by. Somebody walking by with their Australian Shepherd having an evening walk, a kid going by on a scooter, a Lexus driving by. He's smashing them all with fresh oranges from Florida.
Was it your Lexus?
The police were called.
Oh.
No, it wasn't my Lexus. In fact, I've been trying to learn how to drive my Tesla, but I am still driving my Lexus.
I mean, it is just, I mean, this has just been a challenging Easter, I guess, where you have neighbors show up, you have uncles show up. It's just it's such a bummer. And I'm sorry, Halle, but you know, maybe some of these women's leadership classes will help you. I mean, this one, her say, seems like, you know, it obviously this is a Christian-led discussion group on the dangers of gossip and how women are the number one spreaders of gossip when it comes to the life of the church. So maybe that one could help because, you know, obviously people are going to be talking about, you know, what you're going through. And, you know, obviously you're talking on a podcast about what you're going through. Maybe, you know, maybe this little tagline here, which is maybe you should just shut up, is good advice for ladies when you're going through stuff like this.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Springfest is happening now at Lowe's. Keep the spotlight on your yard with Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch, 5 bags for $10. Plus, when you want more help indoors, get up to 40% off select major appliances that help you supercharge your chores. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid to 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
That sounds like a good seminar. I'm going to go to that one. You're reading out of the Lead From Behind pamphlet.
Yeah.
I go every year to Lead From Behind and also Afterthought. Those are the two most awesome female Christian conferences nationwide.
And it is weird where you look at this one and it's, you know, this class is called Hearsay, obviously a play on hearsay, but it kind of looks like heresy, which I think might be a branding issue. But anyway, I like the tagline. Maybe she should just shut up. I think that's a good, you know, the best way to not gossip is to not gossip.
That is so true. I'm going to highlight that one here. Let me highlight that real quick because I'm going to go to that one.
And I like this one too. Family Inc. And then there's a period U beta. So this I guess is just a faith-led discussion on fertility and how to create the perfect corporate environment in the home.
That sounds really smart and that sounds fascinating.
Well, because the woman is kind of like the CEO of the family, isn't she? Well, I guess you could say that the man is the CEO.
He's the one that gets credit
but
for
maybe
everything.
She's kind of the head of marketing.
Who's the person in the corporate world who does everything for no credit?
I would say this. I would say the CEO.
Okay. So yeah, the woman of the household is the CEO.
Oh no, I would say the man is the CEO.
Oh, the man has to be the CEO.
Yeah.
And so the woman must be maybe the COO.
Maybe we can think of the CFO, which
CFO or COO?
Well, the CFO maybe because a lot of people think of that as Chief Financial Officer, but she's really the Chief Fertility Officer.
Okay, I'll take that. That's good. That's good. That's really good. You know what? Okay, I'm going to highlight that one too.
So yeah, I think that's great because I think the more we think about the family as a business, the better we are. Fertility rates are going down, down, down in this country, and we need them to go up, 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 or else. And so I do think it's a great idea to just get these numbers up. And if you can start treating the family more like a business, that's a great way to think of it.
Wow, that's cool. And then, you can say that the children are employees and that's why they need to help fill the dishwasher.
That's right.
This is labor.
Yeah.
In a capitalistic society, I'm sorry, but you have to trade your labor for currency. The currency in this case is the roof I'm giving you over your head and the food I put on the table. And I kind of like being a CFO.
That's cool. Chief Fertility Officer, although I guess, you're a little past that, but.
Oh, I like this one. I'm going to, have you seen this one? This session is called Dry It Up. And this is how to tackle the female frailty of emotionality.
Oh, I love that.
Why empathy is weakness and how to handle submission. Oh,
very cool.
Yeah, dry it up. I think that means stop crying.
Yeah.
Which as women, we really need to do.
I mean, the times that women cry in a work setting and kind of going back to how to create a great corporate environment. How do we get women to stop crying so much? It's tough.
It's really, really hard. And, I'm sure, that's why, good and upright men have to keep standing up to do the leadership and politics and all that stuff. And they, try to edge the women out and keep them in lower positions because, they're probably afraid that they're going to cry. And I mentioned earlier, I had a crying closet. I'm ashamed to say that because it's where I go when I really can't hold it in. I've been stuffing it down too long and now it's accidentally leaking out the front of my face through my eyes, nose, and mouth and heaving sobs from my chest and deep in my belly. I go in there so that I can have a little privacy, because I don't want anyone to know.
I mean, I wish
that
we
I'm
had
having
one of those around here.
Moment of weakness. And also, when I look in the Bible, when I see the fruits of the Spirit, do you know what I see? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. You know what I don't see? Sobbing, crying, heaving.
I don't see that in
retching, crying out, gnashing teeth, ripping clothes. Well, there is some ripping clothes in the Bible.
But I guess that's good. I guess it's in the name, the crying closet. And if we had a few of those around here, we put in those nursing stations around. And I was against that. And luckily they took those out because I think we basically can all agree that if a woman is nursing, she should be at home. And a few of the women on staff were going, well, I work and I'm nursing. And it's like, well, maybe it's time to choose. Are you going to choose your job over your baby? Maybe go home and be the CFO of the organization at your home and nurse the baby there.
And you know what? The Bible tells us that for everything there is a season. And I'm not going to be crying forever. I just have been having a hard season. I'm going to change that closet right back into the prayer closet that it is.
Oh, that's what it was.
Normally. And the only thing that differentiates it is that when it's the crying closet, I do put up a few photos of Stanley Tucci in there.
Well, just rounding out some of these workshops, let's see, there's cooking for dummies and women. That looks good.
Oh, I like to read that. I always need ideas.
How to make a black friend. And
oh, wow, that might be good. We have hired a new person to be in charge of diversity here at Twin Hills.
Oh, it's awesome. Diversity is awesome. And essential and non-essential oils for everyday life.
Well, I've been getting into non-essential oils.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. There's actually one that you can buy in the bookstore at Twin Hills that's actually called snake oil because it has this like snake venom in it that plumps up your lips.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So, I mean, if you need some, you can get snake oil right there on the church campus.
Wow. Well, Hallie, you know, we have really gotten into some of what's going on around here today, but I do just need to tell you that I feel like today, on all these days, we should just be closing in a good prayer because honestly, when we're going through trying times, especially on Easter, it is really, really important to just turn to God in supplication and pray. So would you join me in a word?
Love to.
God, we just come to you on Easter and
Jesus.
We just, God, we want to put ourselves on the floor in front of you and just we just know that you are in control and that you would have Hallie cry less. You would have Uncle Chevy do less of what he does. You would have Donovan Gio go back to where he came from, Lord, because Lord, these just are stumbling blocks on the way to your glory, Lord, and it is just so important that we are doing your work, Lord, and that is how we achieve the power and the glory that you would have for us, Lord. And that these problems, these little holes in the yard, as it were, Lord, these are just distractions from the plan that you gave us, Lord. And so I would just pray, Lord, that you would just come into us, Lord, on this day, your day, Easter, and as you come in out of the darkness and into the light, just like Popsicles popping out of one of his little dune holes, Lord, that you would bless us, God.
In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, folks, that's the episode. Many thanks to our Supercast members for those great suggestions. Hey, speaking of Supercast, it's a great time to join. There's a free trial, and that is the best way to make sure that Mega keeps going.
If you'd like to listen ad-free, if you would like behind-the-scenes podcasts, and if you would like Discord access and much, much more, go to mega.supercast.com and become a supporter today. That's mega.supercast.com.
And really, it is the way we keep going, so please consider a Supercast membership. A very special thanks to our founding members. That's Bobby and Betty, Nana and T-Pop, Adrian O, Kristen A, and Anonymous. You know who you are. Thanks.
And as always, I'm Holly Laurent playing Hallie Labont, and that over there, that's Greg Hess playing Gray Haas.
See you next time.